Well, the Tampa Bay Rays struggled against the Miami Marlins, something that we hoped and expected wouldn't happen. We'll talk about the impacts of that series, the struggles of Shane Baz, a little boo-boo for Chandler Simpson, and much more on this episode of the Locked On Rays podcast. Welcome in.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in to the Locked On Rays podcast. We are your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays, from game analysis to player interviews. We've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulysses Zambrano,
bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays.
We are here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this is our 7th season covering the Rays daily.
So grab your favorite Rays gear and settle in as we discuss the weekend series that was. But first, Ulysses, I think we need to tell the audience something important.
That's right. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins.
All right. It being a Monday, we figure let's get into some takeaways from the Miami Marlins weekend series. The Rays losing that series. They did take one game, but lost two of the others. And now they'll be back at it at home against the Houston Astros. So not too excited or upbeat about that. But Ulysses, what did you notice and observe and take away from the weekend?
I gotta tell you, first, just like an overview. Road trip 500. Kev, I kind of want to get into this right away. Have we seen anything from the 2025 team that is different from the 2024 team?
I would say they're more exciting in some ways, but I think the status quo of you take a step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's a teeter-totter, if you will, where you can't really build all that momentum. You might have a good series or two, and then you come back down to earth. And it is extremely frustrating in many senses because, like I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but this is a team in Miami that you should do work against. Not saying that the Rays are the Los Angeles Dodgers or anybody like that, but this is not a good Marlins team, and
Kevin,
you should be able to go into their home and whoop on them for a little bit.
If you can whoop on the Miami Marlins, what hope is there? And not the Miami Marlins as a franchise, but like the team that they've been this year has been a team that you should be feeling comfortable against. And I know that baseball is such a great sport because on any given day, somebody can, David can beat Goliath 100%. And that's why we watch this game, because it's so fun. But during the series,
even the worst teams in baseball find a way to win 60 games, or the worst teams win 52 games.
So I understand that, but gosh, they just looked off. And let me get onto the takeaway here. Should we be worried about Shane Baz? Because in May, and I'll give you guys some numbers here. He has been struggling all of May. 4 starts. I'll go with the first one. 5 2/3, 7 earned runs. 3 1/3, 6 earned runs. 4 2/3, 3 earned runs. 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. Pick whatever start you want from May, and it ain't good. He probably has one more to go in this month, and you can scratch it off to guys have bad months, but it has been a struggle. And the slider, it's been getting hit hard, everywhere.
Well, when you leave it hanging up in the middle of the zone
with very little movement,
and you get behind in the count, usually bad things are going to happen one way or the other.
And you get behind in the count because you're walking people. 3 walks, 2 walks, 2 walks, 3 walks. It's free base runners. and you're not helping. If it was 3 walks and you allow 2 hits, you're like, okay, a little bit walky, but all right, that's 5 total guys. But when you're allowing 3 walks and you're also allowing 9 hits, I mean, that's why when you look at his numbers in totality in 2025, 49 innings pitched, a 5.33 ERA, and a 1.408 WHIP. That's ugly no matter how you slice it. And we both came in with the idea that Shane Baz would give some stability, would give some repeated results in the rotation. And honestly, he hasn't been any of that.
Yeah, and it would be more understandable, I would think, if these types of issues were matriculating in late August or September, and you could blame endurance, exhaustion, stamina as an issue because he has not been healthy and that has not been himself the last couple of years. But we're in May. He should be right in the heart of being successful. And he started the year out so great as well. And the Rays seem to think it's not necessarily a stuff thing. I mean, he's still throwing hard by all accounts, but it's the command in getting in bad spots. It's, first pitch, too many first pitch balls, too many deep counts, and you have runners on base. It's hard to escape from a 3-run home run or a 2-run home run. And that makes it really, really challenging. And again, like we always say, the other team gets paid too. So there are going to be times where you're going to get beat up a little bit, but we're starting to see a very negative trend here. And I just wonder how much longer the leash will be with him before the Rays may decide to say, all right, let's get you right and send you to AAA. Does he have options? I don't even know. We'd have to look that up.
Good one. I'll look that up, but just so
I would say this.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have options, another possible solution is ship him to the bullpen temporarily. And maybe hold up. Yeah.
He does have 2 options left. So
okay.
So let's play with that, right? If the leash is not there just yet, to say, okay, we got to try something. When that time comes, there is a guy who is shoving in AAA, and his name is Joe Boyle. If you guys don't know what he's been doing, I'll let you know right here. In May, opponents are hitting 153 off him. He has a .71 WHIP in May. These are all May numbers. ERA, .53 in 3 games and 17 innings pitched. So there is something to, hey, Shane Baz, you're going to build around Shane Baz, right? But it's not like Joe Boyle is just a throwaway. You gave away a very nice piece in Jeffrey Springs to get Joe Boyle. So it's not like Joe Boyle is just, a dude that, no. He's a 32-year-old.
He throws just as hard, if not harder, than Shane Baz. And he had a pretty impressive cameo at the big league level.
Exactly. So how long is that leash for Shane Baz? Because when that time comes, if he's not turning it around, there is a guy in AAA who is saying, give me the ball. Right. That's Joe Boyle.
Now, if Shane Baz can't hack it as a starter, and I don't know the answer to that as of yet, I would like to see what he could do in the bullpen. I mean, Pete Fairbanks is not going to be a Ray forever. So maybe that is a succession plan of sorts. As much as we like to build, develop, and mold starters, sometimes those guys are better suited for the bullpen. Failed starters can become a great reliever, a great closer. Shane Baz would seem to have the closer mentality, so maybe that is something to look at. But also pitch mix perhaps could be something to evaluate as well. I would imagine his pitch mix is slightly different this year than it has been in previous iterations. And if there's a certain pitch, i.e. the slider, that is getting eaten up, I mean, doesn't Shane Baz have 4 different pitches? Yeah. You can kind of can one and still be okay, assuming that you're throwing first pitch strikes and getting ahead of counts and not giving up the long ball. So there is more that I want to discuss on this. But first, Ulysses, we need to tell the audience something very important next on the Locked On Rays podcast, your team every day. All right, it's that time. Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Go ahead, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios It is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. What are you waiting for? Go ahead, get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. What's really cool about this too is no shells. So it makes that grab and go so much easier. Whether you're running between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios, it is the snack that works as hard as you do. So go ahead, visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. So good. I'll repeat it again, wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. All right, and another thing I wanted to mention about the pitching staff, Taj Bradley may have been just as unimpressive as Shane Baz. I mean, every time you look up at the TV screen, it seemed like he was loading the bases. So that is at least moderately concerning that these are supposed to be your anchors for the foreseeable future. And maybe it was a mistake on us to crown Shane Baz as the number 2 long term. And again, guys are going to have ups and downs and struggles being young pitchers, but you're really bulking on these guys to show up and show out. And with the Rays offense the way it is, it's hard to win a game when the other team scores 9 runs. It's hard to win a game when the other team scores 5 runs. That's just the way the business goes.
If the pitching is not there, you're not winning a game. That's how the Rays are structured in a way where if they're not pitching well that day, it ain't gonna happen. I want to give you a little bit of backing with what you're saying on the pitch mix. That slider, 8% being thrown, it's being hit at 471 clip and a slugging of 1353. That's not an OPS, people. That's slugging of 1353. The expected slugging, it's a little bit lower at 995. It's an issue with the slider. And the other one, and this is bad news, it's the fastball, the four-seamer. It's being thrown 47% of the time, being hit at 294 clip. The expected one is 265, so maybe he's getting a little bit of bad luck there. The slugging is right there with the expected, 456.
Right. And the thing with it's a good fastball. I would have to dive a little bit deeper into the movement and how deceptive it is, but these guys are major league hitters. This isn't single A baseball or college baseball. So if they see a fastball enough times and it's in their wheelhouse, they'll most likely do damage to it, as opposed to getting ahead and working the edges and working the corners. I think the home run ball that he gave up was middle-ish up. So professional hitters are going to do something to that.
And to your point, when you look at the heat map of every pitch, the best one is the knuckle curve. And why? Well, it's missing the least amount of meatballs of the strike zone, like right in the middle. If you look at that slider, holy crap, it's like it just hit her for a lefty. That would be just beautiful, inside that swing. For a righty, right there in the middle. So, hopefully, obviously, this is just at 1 month. So you don't have to just put an umbrella or a blanket over it and say like, oh, the season is lost for either Shane or Tosh. But it is something that it is trending down. We should say it. And hopefully the Rays are already working on getting that stuff figured out.
And maybe part of it too, again, this is just speculation on my part, but maybe these guys are trying so hard to get everybody out and strike everybody out, knowing that they're most likely not going to have great run support. So they're playing above and beyond their element. I tell you what, it's a lot easier to pitch when you have a 3 or 4 run lead. And how often have these guys had that luxury? And with that, I'd like to ask you, what is your solution for Shane Baz? Do you keep letting him, do you keep rolling him out there, or do you send him to AAA for a get right opportunity, or do you ship him to the bullpen, or do you stick an opener in front of him? Like, what's the solution with Shane Baz?
If the Rays have been working on this, let's say, since the first start in May, which was 5 2/3, allowing 7 runs, If after that they're like, hey, there's something going on here and we got to fix it, and they've been trying to fix it and they can't seem to get it right, I would go and use one of those options. Okay. And let's figure it out in AAA with a little bit less pressure, with a little bit less of like, you have to win this game because the offense is not going to give you any support. Like you'd go that route. If it's something that they've just, well, actually, I wouldn't go the other route. The other route would be like, they're not really that worried about it and they're not actioning anything. I don't believe the Rays are that type of team to just like not even put a thought into it. Like they know about this. They've seen something. They're trying to work on it.
Yeah. And now it's probably in his head of like, hey, the last 4 or 5 starts, I've just been straight garbage. So
what if they know it?
Out of this?
And what if they know it and he knows it and they know exactly what it is, but it's the execution part that is not happening. So honestly, I wouldn't put a AAA stint, and that's nothing. Look, Blake Snell went to AAA and got better, and the year after, guess what? He won a Cy Young. It happens. Sometimes you just got to figure something out. If you're a hitter, take the Ben Zobrist example. Yeah, he redid his swing in the minors, and then just became a major leaguer that was getting all-star nominations.
Player, and you got a couple rings or a ring. I don't know how many he has, but it made a lot of money too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, there we go. I do want to discuss more on the Marlins series, some facts and figures, and we also have some listener comments on the crummy series that was. But first, we have to tell the audience something very important on the Locked On Rays podcast, your team every day. Well, the NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Are you new to FanDuel? Well, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head over to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel. They are the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, wrapping things up here on the Locked On Rays podcast. Just want to note a couple things. The Rays haven't lost a series to the Marlins. Ulysses, can you guess which year that is?
I'm going to go with the worst year we've had in the last 10 years, which is 2016.
Okay, it was actually 2018. So they did something on Sunday which hadn't been done in several years, which was lose a series to the Marlins. And I also saw an interesting fact. I guess I'd have to double check this, but this is according to Mark Topkin. The Rays have alternated wins and losses 8 times. So I understand that to be you win a game, then you lose a game. You win a game, then you lose a game, and so on it goes, which I guess bodes well if you want to be a 500 team. You know, that will get you to 81 wins, I guess.
Yeah, that's a formula, right? One up and one down. And again, just to say what we said at the top of it, and I want to hear what people have to say on the comment box.
Yeah,
what differences have you seen besides the fact that they're more exciting because of the
Chandler Simpson? Chandler Simpson is the catalyst in all that, and we hope he's okay after that collision at home plate, because he is the one guy. I know he's not the only guy, but he's hitting .301 right now with a .327 on base percentage. Not to mention he's not striking out and getting stolen bases, and he's kind of a little bit of a run producer as well. I mean, when there's a runner at second or third, he finds a way to work his magic, even if it's just a base hit up the middle or a chopper that the second baseman mishandles and throws past the first baseman. I mean, crazy things happen when Chandler Simpson puts the ball in play. And what I'm really looking forward to, not to go too off on a Chandler Simpson diatribe here, but I would love to see, and yes, we want to see him put the ball in the outfield, but I want to see how many pitchers can make a play on Chandler Simpson at first, be it by bunt or slow grounder or chopper, because pitchers are notoriously, as much as they can throw a strike to home plate from 60 feet, 6 inches, they cannot make any type of throw to first. It goes all over the place.
They do two steps off the mound, and it's like they sometimes
it's like they're in a different world, like they're thrown out of water or something like that.
No,
so that is what I'm looking forward to seeing some of those highlight reels, but I will let you continue your point there.
No, yeah. So drop it down in the comments. I just want to know what people, if we're being maybe on the negative side, but really, what differences have you guys seen from the 2024 team to the 2025 team, results based? Not, I like this team better, I like Chandler Simpson and Meisner and Mangum. We get that. On the field, results wise, what are the differences between 2024 and 2025? Because we are seeing no results being any different right now.
And it's unfortunate. And losing to the Marlins, I will note the Marlins have the third worst ERA in MLB. They are, of course, last still in the NL East. They're tied for 21st in team defensive runs saved, tied for 17th in team OPS. So this was a team that you really should have capitalized on. And now you got to face Houston at the Stein, which may not shake out so well, unfortunately. Plus, like, this is also the Rays also seem to be on the bad part of history sometimes. The Marlins, and I know they have some notable names, but pretty much everybody that they were rolling out as far as starting pitchers go had like very nasty ERAs, and not in a good way. I mean, like Cal Quantrill, who gets that immaculate inning, 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches in the 4th on Sunday. He got Aranda, Morel, and Cameron Meisner. I think Quantrill entered in the game with like a 6.8 or 6.9 ERA. Something.
He was insane. Against the ropes with bases loaded, no outs, and you let that go. And you know what happens? You start to get some momentum yourself and some more confidence. And we all know that when we feel confident right now about ourselves, we tend to perform better, whatever it is. So that's exactly what we saw with Quantrill on the mound. And I don't know, Kev, what
it's all because Chandler Simpson wasn't in the lineup. I think that's what it was.
that's a takeaway for Kevin
on Simpson in the lineup, even if he's got a bruised face or something like that. But so it's unfortunate, and we'll close out with a couple comments here from the listeners. We put on the Twitter X machine: describe the Rays weekend series against the Marlins in one word or phrase. Tengu Snake says vexing. Luke Williamson says frustrating. Anthony Lopez says a rather disappointing result. Suzanne says ugly. Jake Stokes says, I have this nagging feeling this has happened before. Chris says the last game was embarrassing and disheartening. A lot less optimistic about them putting it together this season. Title Bay says uneventful. And Josh Freeman Goat says expected. So that's what we're dealing with here.
I mean, I guess we're not alone, right? Other people feel it too. But again, drop it down in the comments. Have you actually seen a difference in results from the 2024 team to the 2025 team? Because we might be, and even what we're saying, we talked about it with Klosky, like, just wait for Ha-Seong Kim, just wait for Shane McClanahan. That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying last year. Yeah. And again, and this year's a little bit more difficult because of the schedule. You're going to have to be a team that excels on the road and not lose series against teams like the Miami Marlins. Right. So it's tough. It's tough to project this team. They can win against the Yankees in the Bronx and then lose it against the Miami Marlins at Miami. You know what that tells me? That they're in the middle. They're in middling team.
And it'll probably be that way the rest of the year and maybe into 2026 for all we know. And as much as I am looking forward to having Shane McClanahan and Ha-Seong Kim back, they're coming back from injury and rehab and then stepping right into the fire. I know they're going to have to, do some stuff in the minor leagues, but they might not be at 100%, or it might take them a couple starts or a couple weeks to really feel themselves again. So just because they're back doesn't mean they're back, if that makes sense. Like there might be a learning curve to, okay, this is how I do this Major League Baseball thing. We see it all the time. So that's something that we have to be wary of and considerate of as well. In the meantime, thank you for making Locked On Rays your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. You can get local analysis on a national scale. Be sure to find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on the YouTubes or wherever you listen to those podcasts.